Thank you. There's no need for that. Every time I come to your country, I've come a couple of times, and every time I'm told comedy audiences in this country are cool, millennial, cutting-edge, bohemian people. Dress appropriately. And this is the best I could manage. I look like I work in HSBC risk management. That's the biggest laugh those words have ever gotten. Now, every time I come to your country, your people are very nice. They've been very nice to me. They've always said, Anuvab, thank you for coming. Your English is very good. Now, here's the thing, London. I didn't want my English to be very good. To be honest, I didn't even want to speak it. But about 250 years ago, we're going there. Some British people, about this number, actually. I remember you, sir, you built the railways in India. There's a gentleman going, yes, I did, yeah. Some British people came over to India and told us, speak like this. And we said, why? Why? And you said, well, we've got a gun. And if there's a gun pointed in your face, you learn a language very quickly. Parlez-vous français? Yeah. And you say, English is an easy language. Very simple to learn. Write down, Salisbury. Salisbu. Why didn't the French invade us? Or masculine, feminine, no, this is better. You said it gets easier, Anuvab. It's an easy language. Write down, Siobhan. Here's an even easier one, pneumonia. And P starts with a P. Who are these people? By the way, before I begin, I realize some people might be late. They might be coming in, and you may feel like you want to go out. I'll be honest with you, this is a show about the British Empire in India. So if you're British, you can come and go whenever you want. It's not a traditional comedy show. You've walked in and out of India before, it'll happen again. Anyway, it was going fine under the circumstances. There was a gun pointed, we were learning a language. 200 years, we did everything that the British people told us. Yes, sir, no, sir, good evening, hello. Namaste, how are you? Yeah, lovely. Sorry, what? You'd like us to wear a 3-piece woolen suit in the middle of the Indian summer? I thought you'd never ask. But then suddenly, without telling any of us, middle of the night, 1947, all the British people in India suddenly just got up and fucked off. World's first Brexit. Leaving 500 million people sounding like this. Like a love child of Downton Abbey and a Bangalore call center. And before the British left, we said, excuse me, before you go, you there? Yes, Horace. Yes. Hello, yes, you and your friend Reginald. Yes, hello. Yes, what do you want us to do with this language, please? Because you're leaving, I have no one to speak to. My granddad can't understand a word I'm saying. And the British said, keep the language, Anuvab, keep the language. Talk amongst yourselves. Because you never know. In 75 years, when the whole world is connected with fiber optic cable, and when our Barclays debit cards don't work, you can answer our phones. What was your name? Anuvab. Would you mind terribly changing it to Gareth? Oh, you would? Oh, fuck. How about Humphrey? It's a long time ago, a long time. I realized, we'll come to this. Empire gets a bad rap. Nobody wants to talk about all of this. But the British Empire gave India things we did not have. The British came to India and said, my God, man, India, you have malaria, you're all dying. Here, try some of this. We said, oh, this is very lovely. What is this? And the British said, gin and tonic. We said, British people are very nice, gin and tonic. My whole family is dead, but this is a good drink. I like you. Yeah, lovely wigs and everything, very nice. Yeah, and we had some of that. They said, you like it? We said, yeah. He said, try some of this new drink. He said, even better, what do you call this? And they said, we call it tea. He said, British people are even better. This is tea. This is our bloody tea. Is this the empire just selling our shit back to us? And charging us double the price in pounds. But look, these are stories from a long time ago. A long time ago. I am now in a different Britain. I'm in a cool, multicultural, global Britain. I'm trying to learn about this Britain. You're very hip, you're very with it. My mother's Welsh, my father's Sudanese. It's all very cool. My boyfriend spends half his time in Sao Paulo and half in Clapham. We do the Sunday roast, but we do it with halloumi. Cool, modern Britain. You don't name your kids the old way. You don't have names like the Victorian names. There are no Reginalds or Wellesleys. Your names are all very cool now. Luke, Freya, Arabella, Flat White. Very cool. I like being a cool modern Briton. And that's why I want to have this conversation with modern Britain about empire, about the old, about those guys, the Downton Abbey sorts. Because I'm fascinated by how did it happen? How did no more than 5,000 or 10,000 Englishmen govern hundreds of millions of Indians? How? I'm, of course, with the gun. Yeah, that helps. But how? Do you have any idea, ma'am? Do you have any idea? How? You have no idea. Yeah, because you don't have empire in your history books. I have no idea. Thank you very much. It's been a lovely evening. We're done. This is the exploration of empire. No, I tried to do some research. How did this happen? And what happened is apparently old English people went to Oxford and Cambridge and found young English people, 18, 19 years old, nobody older than 25, and said, you there, yes, you, Hastings, yes, you. Yes, we want you to go to India and we want you to run that place. And young people back then, I guess, were not like young people now. Young people now would have questions. So I'm not going to India. I identify as non-binary. What are the facilities for someone like me in that country? Back then, people were just like, yeah, fine, I'll go. And they said, what will we do there? They said, you will be the district magistrate. What does that mean? That means you'll be the king of a province. Part king, part judge, part ruler. You will solve the day-to-day problems of Indians. Once in a while, you will sentence people to death. You will feed everybody. Do you have any questions? Oh, yes, you may die of malaria, perhaps a snake bite. Oh, you've shot yourself. Young people were sent away, and they didn't know what the hell they were doing. So if you go to the British Library, there are all these lovely documents of young people, district magistrates, writing desperately, just saying, help. My favorite, couple of these things I picked up at the British Library. My favorite, District Magistrate of Calcutta, Babington Macaulay. That was his real name. He writes, have been invited this evening to a Hindu temple at a temple opening ceremony where I have to bless a cow by sitting on it. Urgent instructions from London required. London writes back, sit appropriately. There's another district magistrate who writes, Warren Hastings, real name, District Magistrate of Punjab, writes, have been invited to the Maharaja's wedding tonight, where I've been told I have to dance. Not dancing at his wedding might lead to warfare. Never done Indian dancing before, but I believe pelvic thrusts are involved. Urgent Indian dance coach needed. London writes back, no budgets, improvise. So the first time I came to your country, I thought empire was these sorts of stories. A bit of, ha-ha, gin and tonic, wasn't that fun? Because I thought enough time had passed for us to have a bit of a laugh. No. I realized, very sensitive topic in your country. I went to the Edinburgh Fringe. I told some stories. I met a couple after the show. They said, Anuvab, we saw your show, but what happened to you? I said, what do you mean? He said, listen, where is your anger, young man? They said, young man, which was quite nice. I said, that was quite nice. They said, where is your anger? I said, how do you mean? They said, why aren't you angrier at us? We were awful, awful people. I said, I don't even know you. They said, no, we were awful. As English people, we were awful in India. We were spawns of Satan. Where is your anger towards us? I said, this is a comedy show. They said, you need to be angrier. As readers of the Guardian, we are offended on your behalf. I went back to India and I told them, listen, man, I met some English people. They're feeling very guilty. Even after all these years, we've forgotten, they still remember. We have genuinely forgotten. We have no idea. We have 600 million young people, no idea about empire. You are tearing down your statues in guilt. We are repainting them. Not because we care, because we don't know whose statues they are. Near my house, there's a statue of Winston Churchill. The plaque under it has fallen. And someone has written there, old fat Englishman who liked his curry. Appropriate description of Churchill. So I told my Indian friends, I said, man, these people are very, very upset. They said, Anuvab, go back to England and tell them what we've done since they left. I said, okay, what have we done? I said, precisely, nothing. So I came back to Britain. I said, Britain, we've done nothing since you left. We're rubbish, you're brilliant. I met a different couple. They said, Anuvab, we loved your show. And this is exactly what we've been telling our friends the empire was. A civilizing force for your lot. And look at all the wonderful things you got. You got the English language, you got the railways, you got a justice system, you got democracy, and look at you. Look at what you've become, a short, fat, round, brown, polite Englishman. And this is really lovely, and if you don't mind, can you come and talk to our little group? We have a little group, very diverse, very culturally sensitive. We're called the UKIP Party. And as readers of the Daily Telegraph, we'd love to have you. And that's when I realized it's very tricky, this empire thing. It's very divided in your country. Your country is very divided. And of course, you know, it's hard enough to understand how you manage to run 3/4 of the planet. I've spent a bit of time in this country. You're barely running this island. How? Was there a party? Was there not a party? You can't even decide that. How are you going to feed all of Delhi? This is a divided, so I've realized this is why you don't teach empire in your history books. It's best you don't get into it at all. I've seen your pupils' history books, excellent. Selective history. Only when you're winning. Battle of Trafalgar, Nelson, you're winning, very good. Nothing for 200 years. Straight to beating Hitler. What happened for 200 years, Reginald? We forgot to write it down, I suppose. Sorry. You are the best archivist historians on the planet. I know, we lost our pen. Why is there so much Queen Victoria plastered all over India? She liked to travel. Nothing. You don't teach it at all. It's brilliant. And we don't teach it either. We don't teach it for very different reasons. When India was lost, we were not lost. We didn't lose a battle to the British crown. No, no, no. We lost India. This is becoming a TED Talk. I like it. We lost India to a spice trading company. How embarrassing is that? Losing your country to a corporation. That's like losing in a battle with John Lewis. They're like, who is your prime minister? He's the area head sales Asia Pacific. It's embarrassing, so we don't teach it either. I looked at my son's history book, and it said, there was a question. It said, why were the British in India for 200 years? And the teacher has written in, they were on their way back from Australia and they were very tired. So they stayed for a 200-year Ayurvedic massage. So I've never done this before. I honestly have never done this before. But shall we do it now? Shall we do a little recap of empire history? I mean, the show's called Empire. Where else do you have to be? You know, because you don't know it, I don't know it. So I quickly looked it up. So this is roughly how it went. Very accurate history lesson here. 1757, spice trading company showed up. They had 5,000 soldiers. And the Indian Maharaja, who was high on opiates, had 250,000 soldiers. Should be an easy battle. Nope. The thing is, the Indian army did not fight. We took a bribe and fucked off. Took the money, we left. For the next 100 years, a lot of British spice traders ended up making love to a lot of local women. So much so that a whole generation of Indians were created called Anglo-Indians. A whole generation of people that looked like me, but had names like Hennessy. It's just confusing. Just very confusing. 1857, there was a big mutiny from the Hindu and Muslim soldiers in the British Army because of two reasons. Apparently, the British government gave the Hindus beef as part of their diet and the Muslims pork as part of their diet. Now, every time I go to a restaurant in London in 2022, people say, do you have any dietary restrictions? Where were these people back then? Where was Jamie Oliver when you needed him? And the crown took over, the British crown took over. Queen Victoria ran India from 1857 after the mutiny, and for 100 years, they put up statues of Queen Victoria everywhere. Indians had no idea who it was. So everywhere in India, Indians were going around saying, whose aunt is that? There was a large, fat British lady looking down at us, saying, don't do this, that, or the other. But all this fun ended in 1920, when a man called Mahatma Gandhi showed up. This is what I like about Britain. You say Mahatma Gandhi, silence. Where is he going to go from here? There's somebody in the back said, "Ugh." Last time I said Mahatma Gandhi, a lady stood up. Proper reverence. You love him. You love Mandela. You love Gandhi. And you love him because he told the world, don't fight. He said, don't fight. No fighting, non-violence. But what India forgot to tell you is Gandhi told 1 billion people who didn't want to fight, don't fight. It was the greatest revolution ever. Mahatma, I'm busy. I'm playing squash. I don't care. Okay, you don't have to fight. This was the greatest person. Revolution without participation. We didn't have to do anything. You just want to live your life? Yeah, I'm just living my life. Carry on. So Gandhi had to come up with ingenious ways to fight the British. Random, bizarre, crazy things. Other people have guns. They get guns. They have a revolution. Gandhi was a lunatic. He had to come up with different ways. He came up with a movement called the non-cooperation movement. That basically meant work with the British, but don't cooperate with them. How pesky is that? British and Indian people having lunch. Excuse me, Rajiv, can you pass the salt? I'm not cooperating, man. Just little things. Hold the elevator door open, please. Eventually, the British said, hell with it, we're going. And the third thing Gandhi said is, if you see British people on the streets, stare at them in a creepy way. We do that, even now we do that. Just groups of British people and and the British said, hell with this, we're out of here. We can deal with battle, but this is just creepy. And the British left. They were supposed to leave in 1948. They left in 1947. Suddenly, middle of the night, giving us half an evening to come up with a national anthem, a national bird, a national flower. Absolute chaos. People running around Parliament saying, you want to be Prime Minister? Well, I'm just the tea boy, it's fine. You be the Prime Minister. They say the Constitution of India is the best constitution in the world because it has the best bits of every other constitution. Yeah, no shit, it's called cut and paste. It was a bit weird on 15th August when Prime Minister Nehru was reading out the Constitution, and it began, "We, the people of Sweden." So that right there is the history of India. There you have it. But listen, let's talk a little bit about modern Britain. I love being in modern Britain, modern, cool Britain. I'm trying to understand modern, multicultural Britain. It takes me a while to understand your people because you are so polite. But you never say what you mean. If someone in Britain says, excuse me, Anuvab, can we have a word? There's a slight issue. It means I've probably killed your whole family. The other day, someone said, Anuvab, my wife and I had been to India, and it was interesting. I realized that meant they landed in Goa, had a curry on the first night of their holiday, and shat for the rest of the holiday. That's what interesting means. By the way, someone thought it would be very dainty to have an Empire teacup to drink water from. It's just embarrassing, is what it is. I'm learning about political correctness. In the first world, people are very politically correct. I like this silence. You're like, where is he going to go with this? No, you have a friend who puts on a little bit of weight. You look at your friend and you think, oh my God, Jeff, he's become a fat bastard, doesn't he? Look at him, just looks like a walrus. Fuck. But you don't say any of this. No, you filter it through 2022. You ask yourself, is this racist, sexist, homophobic, fat-shaming, transphobic? Then you speak. You say, hi, Jeff, haven't seen you in a while. You look different. I'm learning. You have so much to teach me, Western world. Where I'm from, there is no filter from here to here, especially if you're an older Indian man above 60. Are there any men of Indian origin above 60? You're not going to like this next bit. If you're an Indian uncle above 60, whatever horrors are going on here, just whatever horrifying thoughts, inappropriate for the times, just An Indian uncle would say, hi, Jeff, how are you? Yes. You've become very fat. And your face, what happened? Very ugly. We mean nothing by it. I'm sure you have it. You have older relatives, grandparents, who are in their 70s and 80s. And if you have an international friend you're bringing over for dinner to meet your grandparents, you just tell them, don't say anything. Just don't. No one wants to know about your worldview. Just shut up. No one. This is the thing. We have old people just like that. That's what unites the world, racism. It doesn't divide the world. That's what brings the world closer. Don't ever repeat this outside this room. I was on an Air India flight He said, anybody flown Air India? Oh, yes. And you're still alive. On my flight, the pilot said, ladies and gentlemen, there is a very good chance we'll reach our destination. Everyone started clapping. A Scottish gentleman next to me said, better than last time. I said, what happened last time? He said, we flew to Nairobi. I said, it's a non-stop Mumbai-London flight. I'm sitting there, and next to me is an Indian uncle. And he's like a proper, no-filter uncle, just looking creepy, just on the flight, just about to say something terribly inappropriate. And between us was a European person, a young Dutch person, quietly minding his own business, terrified to be on an Air India flight. Just wants to get home, just shit scared. And the Indian uncle kept looking at him in a creepy way. And I sat there going, uncle, don't say anything. Don't say anything to the European person, because of you, I'm going to have to apologize on behalf of 1 billion people. So just shut up, please just shut up. And the European guy was quietly sketching, minding his own business. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm sketching, I guess. He was quietly sketching. Indian uncle, no provocation. Just started. Said, what are you doing, young man? What are you doing, young man? What are you doing? The Dutch guy looked terrified. He's never spoken to anyone he hasn't been introduced to. He didn't know where to start. He got nervous. He blurted out, oh, I'm really sorry. My name is Lucas. I'm a graphic novelist. I'm a visual artist. I was in Mumbai for a graphic novel conference. I'm now going back to Rotterdam, where I live. Superb answer. This is what I love about Europeans. They don't converse, they build walls. No further conversation possible. Berlin, 1946. Game over. What are you going to do now, uncle? Uncle didn't understand any of that. He was just getting started. He said, oh, you are an artist. Are you homosexual? Completely egregious. And now Lucas looks at me and says, what the fuck, man? As if to say, are all your people like this? And I have to say something suddenly to defend my whole country. Suddenly I have to be Mahatma Gandhi in seat 20C. So I say something, I say, I'm really sorry, Lucas, we're not all this insulting. I have to say something. I look at his face, it's ashen. He said, what do you mean insulting? That is the most insulting thing anyone's ever said. I am homosexual. How did I become the homophobe in this story? Now the Indian uncle is looking at me going, insensitive. What's wrong with you? It's 2022. Have some shame. There's only one answer, never fly Air India. I come from a country of 1.3 billion. I still can't believe I'm doing this. I feel we're in Alice in Wonderland. I'm going to fly away at the end of the show. 1.3 billion people. That's how many people are in my country. And I read in your newspapers, you have 60 million people. And every day people are like, too many people. We have too many people. 1.3 billion. I don't know how to explain it to the Western world. That means everyone in India, at any given point in time, is at it. Just rampant fornication. Non-stop rampant fornication. Just everyone's having sex all the time. And then they tell us, no, we're a conservative country. We're 80% conservative Hindu, 20% conservative Muslim. Then you had some Victorians showing up. Everyone told us, don't tell the world you're having sex. Sex is bad. No sex. Shh, hide it. Hide it. No, I can hide it if we are 4 million people. If we are Norway, how'd you hide 1 billion people? There are children popping out of everywhere. If 5 Indians came to see the show, 75 would leave. We're just everywhere, we're at it. And foreigners came and make fun of us, and this Anuvab shagging, going on shagging. No shagging, no shagging. We want to hide it. And everyone is at it. Humans are at it, animals are at it. I was on a holiday with my father-in-law, and we were in a car, and the highway was blocked because in front of us was a massive Indian elephant. The world's largest land mammal, the Indian wild tusker. And that elephant had climbed on top of a lady elephant. The world's second largest land mammal. There was an elephant. It's the biggest thing you'll ever see in your life. It's an elephant on top of an elephant. But there we were, my father-in-law and me in the car, pretending it's not there. We're avoiding eye contact. There is a traffic jam of cars filled with Indian families, just pretending nothing's going on. India is the only country where the elephant in the room is an actual fucking elephant. The other day, I saw a sign in Edinburgh, and it said, Edinburgh has a population crisis. There are 300,000 people in Edinburgh, and it might go up to 320,000 during the Fringe Festival, and we are declaring a red alert. The city cannot handle any more citizens. Red alert. 320,000. That's how many people are in my bedroom in Mumbai right now. And that's just my wife's side of the family. Oh, I've been reading about this. This is really good. Your country is very cute. Apparently, you have corruption. But it's very cute corruption. It's lovely corruption. There's a headline. Yesterday's newspaper has a headline. Britain reaches third world levels of corruption. And what is the accusation? Your prime minister apparently got some refurbishment done to his apartment, and he took £58,000 from a lord, and you said, oh, third world levels of corruption have reached Britain. He should be fired. Most of you are quiet because you agree. I'm looking at it from a different perspective. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. That's lovely. I just think that corruption is very cute. 58,000, what a small, lovely amount. Now, I know a thing or two about proper corruption where I'm from. We are very good at it. It is the only thing we respect above integrity. And I looked at the amount, 58,000. I said, amateurs. An Indian minister of state last week walked into the treasury where the money is printed, stole the machine that prints money, and put it in his bedroom. And was he fired? No. He was fined. Which he paid off by printing the money. When you get there, Britain, call me. But I do love being in your country because I feel a kingship. Because I thought I'm a pessimist. I always saw myself as a pessimist, thinking, oh, things are shit, things are shit. Then I met your lot. I feel very much at home here. Everywhere I go, everyone's like, it's all shit, innit? Everything's just shit, innit? It's just shit. You live in one of the greatest economies of the world. It's just shit, innit? Things are so bad, I have to cheer you people up. I come from a country where there's actual shit. And people are like, should we have a party? But here, you people everywhere, it's shit, innit? It's just shit. Today, the weather was absolutely gorgeous. I told a friend, look, bright sunshine. Yeah, sit around, it's gonna rain in a bit, innit? It's gonna get shit, innit? Everywhere. Whatever I say to you people, I say you ruled 3/4 of the known planet. And someone will tell me, yeah, can't do it now, no petrol. We're shit now, innit? Can't even leave Dover, can we? Everything I say, whatever, I say you're the 4th largest economy in the world. Yeah, we're 4th, innit? Shit, innit? They're 3 better than us, aren't they? You discovered the Oxford vaccine. Probably didn't work, did it? We had to take a Pfizer, didn't we? Everything is just rubbish. It's just I can't understand how to make you happy. And then I realized If I just tell you, you have David Attenborough. Exactly. Exactly. Cheer up, for fuck's sake. But there'll be one bastard who'll say, he's 97 in age. Somebody. Don't clap at that, madam. I'm watching Green Planet. It's fantastic. You should live till 150, like most Indian grandparents. Because I love it. I like your country. It's great. But you know, here's the thing. Britain and India, long association. I went to America for the first time. My God. Any Americans in the audience? Of course not. It's a show about empire. What'll they be doing here? I like Americans. Their sense of world geography is slightly limited. They don't know much about what's going on. This one gentleman, he was lovely. He said, Anuvab, India sounds fantastic. I don't have a passport. I haven't gone anywhere. What happens over there? What happens over there? I could make up whatever I wanted. You see, as an Indian person, I have two qualities I value highly. I'm diminutive and treacherous. Diminutive are my Indian genes. Treachery, I've learned from the best. I've had a lot of practice. You shouldn't really laugh at yourself so much. So when he said, what happens over there, I realized I can make up whatever I wanted. I could say anything I wanted. I could say, my name is Anuvab. In ancient Sanskrit, it means washing machine. Anything. They wouldn't laugh. He'd believe me. So he said, Anuvab, what's your system of government over there? Is it like a democracy, or is it like a kingdom? Or do you have like village chiefs or tribal elders? Or how does it go? You're laughing, British people, of course. You know India's the world's largest democracy. You put it there. But when he said, what's the thing? I said, let me see how far this can go. So I said, no, we don't have a democracy. No, our whole country is run by the app Uber. So every time you want a government, you click on the app. And whoever is closest and volunteers, he's our prime minister. You know what he said? Uber is becoming too powerful. It's horrible of me. Horrible. I'm a horrible person. You shouldn't. But they're so nice, Americans. They're so nice. I can't bullshit British people like this. British people, they know India almost too much. I hate it. Radio 4, World Service. There's too much information. My British friends ask me things about India I don't know about. Anuvab, would you say, we were listening on Radio 4 the other day. Would you say that once Prime Minister Modi introduced the Aadhaar card, there's been a revolution in the meritocratic rise of the lower castes, like the Dalits, especially in the interiors, like Bihar? So I'm going to America, man. I don't know what to say. Gandhi. How do you know so much? It's really unnerving. It's terrible. I got really confounded once. When a friend of mine came to visit the Taj Mahal. He said, Anuvab, we've seen a whole bunch of history programs on the Taj Mahal. We've done a bunch of pub quizzes on it. Who built it? Who built the Taj Mahal? I was like, I remember. I knew I should know. I got really nervous. I said, someone really wise and old and Muslim. And they kept prodding. Like who? Muhammad Ali. I need to know more. So I liked America. You could say anything. So this couple, they were like, Anuvab, we wanted to take you to a birthday party with us. But we just want to make sure, it's 2022, people are very culturally sensitive. He said, we want to make sure that the way we celebrate birthdays, it's not culturally insensitive in any way. So I just wanted to check, do you guys celebrate birthdays over there? Do you know what it is? British people, you are offended on my behalf. You are thinking, how can they not know? No. Diminutive and treacherous. I said, how far can I go? I said, no, we don't have that. What is that actually? He explained. In American culture, we have a certain day, comes every year. Once a year, we celebrate you. We get a birthday cake, we put in candles, we sing a special song. I asked, how does it go? He sang it for me. Happy birthday. I started writing it down. Americans are very clever. He said, you're fucking with me. I said, yeah. Diminutive and treacherous. I'm blaming you lot. I wasn't treacherous till you showed up. But it's not true. Americans gave us a lot of things. Americans gave the world the freedom of thought. My God, America, I realized you can say anything. Anything, any nonsense that's in your head, you can just say it. It's fantastic. I went through an Indian system of education. An Indian system of education is very simply books by dead British people. And our job, because you left behind the system of education in 1890, and we said, fuck it, we won't upgrade it, this is fine. So we're still reading all these old British books with slightly outdated information. Ocean liners are the best way to travel. I'm not sure if that's totally correct. So what was our education? Rote memorization. Just memorize books by dead British people. It didn't matter if you understood a word, if you understood the English language, didn't matter. Just memorize it. A range of books. And people would just slap you and hit you, be like, just memorize, bastard child, just memorize. And I didn't know what I was memorizing. So what is this? This is a play by William Shakespeare. What is the name of it? Macbeth. What is it about? It's about a Scottish couple that run a really dubious Airbnb. I just made that up. Okay, I'll mug it up. But what else? Memorize this. It's a book by James Joyce. It's called Ulysses. Okay, what is it about? Nobody has any fucking idea. Just memory. No one. We don't know what it's about. Nobody knows what it's about. Read this poem. What's this poem? It's by T.S. Eliot. Who's he? Doesn't matter. Just memorize it. What does it say? It says, in the room the women come and go, speaking of Michelangelo. When am I going to need this? My parents own a tandoori franchise. Like, just memorize. So I memorized, just memorize. I'd go to the exam, regurgitate. And that's what I thought an education system was, till I had to go to America and take some classes in a college for a semester. And I said, great, I'll go to America. I'll learn about Americans, dead Americans. I thought that's what education was, just memorize, just books by America. I went to America, very expensive. It was 6 million rupees to $1. That's an actual currency exchange rate. Back then, I showed up. See, I can't bullshit you people. British people, you have to stop knowing about the world somewhere. I showed up in America, went to class. My professor, he looked like Dumbledore. And I thought, my God, he's going to now tell me something and I'm just going to memorize shit. And he said, Anuvab, have you read the novel on the syllabus, The Great Gatsby? I said, yes, sir. I memorized it word for word. Shall I just recite it for you? He said, no, don't recite. Don't recite it. What did you think? I said, sir, I've read the book you wrote on The Great Gatsby, and whatever you think, I think. And I'm Indian, so I'd gone ready with a bribe. I was just going to bribe him. I don't know what this gesture is. I was ready to bribe him. He said, no, Anuvab, don't bribe me. Don't tell me what I already know. I know what book I've written. You young Indian man, you 20-year-old young Indian man, what do you think? What are your original thoughts? I said, bastard, I'm paying you or you're paying me? You look like Dumbledore, teach me something. You have original thoughts, I copy. It's called outsourcing. That's why I live in the third world. I just do what you do for cheaper. Unbelievable country. Shocking country. But I live in India. We're supposed to be an empire now, a technology empire. India is supposed to be its own empire. It's frightening. Because what we have are 600 million young people who are not having any sex with access to all your credit cards. It's a bit concerning. And also young people, like you guys have Luke, Freyas. Young people, young Indian people don't have traditional Indian names anymore. Now all our names, young people, millennials, they have insane names. Names ready for the West. Vlad, Vlu, Vresh, Vam, Shiva, Jivil, Jav. Everyone sounds like a cafe in Tehran. Young people, crazy young people. I had a young millennial child come up to me and said, "Sir, really enjoyed your shows. Thank you for telling us that the British were in India. We had no idea." I said, "How do you think we speak English?" They said, "I don't know, Facebook." It's hard for old people, all this digital technology country, hard for old people, very difficult. My mother is 71, and our Prime Minister currently, who, by the way, is a wonderful, wonderful man. Our Prime Minister is a delightful man. Whichever recording is going to him, please tell him. Whichever CCTV footage is going to the Home Ministry, please tell them that I said this in London. Yeah, and please give me my passport. Yeah, thank you very much. Wonderful man. He has a campaign running now called India, Get Digital or Get Off. I realize it means something very different in your country. My mother is 71. She was very taken up by this campaign, Get Digital. So she signed up for Twitter. She started following various celebrities. She thought Twitter meant if you follow a celebrity, you are directly friends with them. I did not correct her. I'm diminutive and treacherous. She started following the actor Hugh Grant, who wrote last year, "Hey Mumbai, coming for a big UNICEF event. See you there." My mother wrote back, "Can't come." I have a bridge game. Change the date, Hugh. He didn't write back. My mother called me and said, "Hugh Grant is a naughty boy." But listen, I've talked a lot about what you've given us. We should spend a little bit of time talking about what we've given you. And I've realized what our biggest export is to the Western world. And it's, apart from chicken tikka masala, it's yoga. Yoga is our biggest export. Look, I'm a 45-year-old Indian man. Are there any men here over 40? Yeah. Oh, proud. Last time I did this show, no one raised their hands. There was a gentleman, his wife was raising his hand for him. But look at you British people, you're quite fit. As a man of Indian physiology, after 40, something happens to us. We become half man, half flower vase. We're just waddling around, like in a nature documentary. David Attenborough going, "There's the Indian man in his natural habitat, inside a bag of nachos." Not true for British men. Lots of British men are quite fit. Well, some of you, not all of you. I've been up north. It's look like a continent, some of you. But many of you in London, very fit, very fit. I think I know why. It's because you run these marathons. And you run these marathons for charity. And you raise money. And you raise that money and you send it to India and we eat. It's global economics. You've screwed it completely. I've been married 14 years. And my wife said, "Listen, you fat bastard." What she said, I cannot repeat in polite company. She said, "You're going to Britain, you'll embarrass the country. Go for yoga." So I signed up for a class. I signed up. It was for a Zoom yoga class. And the name of the class was Yoga for Unfit Indian Husbands. I don't know if they meant matrimonially or physiologically. Did Zoom go well for everybody? Yeah, no, yeah. Some of you don't even look employed. So I don't know what you were doing on Zoom. But Zoom was hard for me. Hard because I couldn't tell how far that Zoom, when you opened the laptop, the Apple camera, how far the reach of the camera was. I thought after a while it got blurry. You could do whatever you wanted. My wife was giving a global sales presentation to people from 112 countries. And her camera was on. And I thought I was far enough behind. I was in a towel. I'm sorry you have to imagine that after the elephant. And I was just waddling by in a towel. I thought I'd just stare at the conference for a bit. I thought I was out of reach of everybody. I was just sort of looking, saying, oh, look, people from Malawi have joined. My wife's boss stopped the conference. He said, 1 second, before you carry on with your sales presentation, Gayatri, 1 second. What is that behind you? My wife of 14 years, she looked back, she said, I'm not quite sure. Zoom for unfit Indian husbands. Couldn't believe I was signed up for this class. Everyone I speak to in your country tells me there's so much yoga in Britain that there is now confusion about its origins. My friend Emma said the other day, Anuvab, I think yoga was invented in East London. Said, I don't think so, Emma. I think yoga was invented in 4000 BC, when an Indian uncle went into a forest to take a shit. Sat down Indian style. Sorry, you have to imagine that. Accidentally found his right leg over the back of his head. Couldn't get it down for a good 2-3 hours. And said, hell with it, I think there's a business here. So this class was at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yoga for unfit Indian husbands. And one by one, all the different cameras on Zoom came on. One unfit Indian husband after the other. Each of us a crime against humanity. Each of us horrifying. There is a camera that came on of a Punjabi gentleman. His camera came on, he looked at me and he said, for fuck's sake. And then suddenly, in the middle of all this, our teacher's camera comes on. And she looks like Kate Blanchett. She's tall, blonde, ethereal. And she says to us, hello, students. I'm your yoga teacher. My name is Sophie, and I'm in Shoreditch in East London. We outsourced yoga to you, you outsourced it back. And she said, none of you husbands are fat. All your wives are body shaming you. We said, carry on, carry on, carry on. One gentleman said, her English is very good. She said, none of you are fat. We said, what are we? We became like disciples. She was our guru. She said, what you are, my beautiful husbands, are oysters in the deep, beautiful ocean. And what you have is not a belly. We said, no. She said, no. It is a covering to hide the pearl inside you, you beautiful oyster. And I said, this is how they conquered India. With bullshit lines like this. I'm an oyster, madam. You can plant your Union Jack anywhere you want. I'm off to the Pacific Ocean. Post-colonial cultures like us always want validation from the empire. We all want validation from the country that set us free. It's been a thing for years with lots of colonies. India, for a long time, was a very poor country. And now we're coming into our own. So we love to come back to Britain and say stuff like, Britain, see what we're doing, see, bastard, see. And we want Britain to say, we love you, you're amazing. But the thing is, you in the first world, you keep changing the rules. We can never get to the validation. Like we've started now this year, India had the largest number of Mercedes sales in the world. A sign that we are now a developed economy or developing, and we're not like Slumdog Millionaire, whatever. We're now coming into our own. So we run to Britain, we're like, Britain, look at India. Largest number of Mercedes sales in the world. What are you going to say about that? We're not a poor country anymore. And Britain's like, oh, sorry, we forgot to tell you. We're giving up our cars, it's cycles for us now. We're jogging, cycling. Don't bring your Mercedes over here. We're like, oh, you bastards. Oh, you changed the rules. You keep changing the rules. We're like Britain. Look, in the pandemic, a list came out of the world's 100 newest billionaires, and 84 of them are from India. Look at us now, not poor anymore. Wealth, 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 look at us. And you're like, oh, sorry, you didn't get the memo. Oh, we forgot to tell you. It's about philanthropy now, give it away. You boss. We're like, fine, okay, how about this? You said India, malnutrition, you have nothing to eat. Latest census by your government said India, 50% now eats chicken and meat. What are you gonna say now, Britain? Oh, sorry, we should have told you, we're all vegan. We forgot to tell you, sorry about that. But you know, I'll leave you with this. The empire is a hard thing. Because a lot of people think, oh, the empire is terrible, this, that, and the other. But you see, it is not often that you conquer a deceitful and treacherous country, which you had the benefit of doing with us. So people thought empire, very simple, we went with guns, they surrendered, and we ruled. But I think the story is far more complicated and a little bit more treacherous and deceitful than you think. Because oh, silence, I love it. Where is he going with this? So when the British came, we're the only country that left the door open. We took a bribe, we said, come in. You said, surrender. We said, yeah, surrender, no problem, surrender. We said, we want to run this place. You want to run this? Yeah, carry on, man, carry on. And you came in, you settled down, you said, speak English. We said, already speaking. You said, gin and tonic, lovely drink, thank you. And you settled in, you sat down, you said, you're liking it, sir, you're ruling us. And the British thought, my God, these were very pliant people. Very easy to conquer. Very easy, we'll build Victorian things, this, that, and the other. I'm going to sit in my chair. I'm going to settle in and become a fat Indian man. This is lovely. And the British settled in, and you settled in, and we said, you're settled in, sir? Yes, hello, sire, good evening. Yes, I'm wearing a three-piece suit, lovely. Yes, empire, long live, Regina, whatever you want, yes. Yes. Then we slowly started. We said, enjoy yourself. Would you like a little chicken tikka masala? Yes, would you like an Ayurvedic massage? Yes. And we started with an Ayurvedic massage. You fell into a deep sleep. 250 years passed. We came to 2022. You woke up, you said, what have you done? We said, why? What have we done? What, sir? What? Nothing. We're still here. You're just seeking your validation. We're still around. You said, why is chicken tikka masala is our national dish? Yes. Yes, it is, yes. Of the top 10 British businesses, 6 are owned by Indians. Yes, I suppose, yes. You've bought up Jaguar and Land Rover, 2 great British institutions. I suppose we have, yes, I suppose. My daughter's name is India. Yes, it is, isn't it? Yes. Why do I own a transcendental meditation center in Kent? It's good money, I suppose. Yes. And then I was going to say, Main bolne wala tha. Why am I speaking Hindi? And that's when we said, Empire Strikes Back. No. Listen, don't tell anyone that this is the end of the show. The last thing you want the readers of the Delhi Telegraph to know is that a show ends by saying Indians are taking over. So let us together be deceitful and treacherous, and like the empire, pretend none of this happened. And look, I'd love to stay and chat more, but I have only 2 more days in London, and I have to go to the British Museum to pick up some of my granddad's things. So. Thank you very much.
How was that?
That went quite well, didn't you think? Yeah, I thought I did really well, actually. So the people have been tweeting, throughout the show, Should we take a look at this? Yeah. Comedic take on the British Empire in India. Not again.